Hello and welcome to you from my living room this time around. And before I share a bit about the year 2024, I want to mention something about my last video. Many of you were asking about that book that we had the book signing event for, the one on artificial intelligence, and whether that was available in English or not. Unfortunately, that particular book is only in Hungarian, but if you are interested in this topic, I would highly recommend that you look for Chuck Missler on YouTube and his teaching on transhumanism. And there are a lot of really good books in English on this topic, and I will collect a couple of them for you in the description of this video. And now, back to the year 2024. It was such a challenging year for us, and I cannot but just praise God if I look back on all the numbers and all the challenges and everything that He got us through. As you remember last time I was talking to you about the fact that we were not even sure that we could do this year altogether. We thought we would have to close in June. But by the grace of God, we could stay open. And not only we could stay open, but we saw God's great blessing on our ministry. Thank you for all of you churches who helped us and answered our call for the $8,000 per month gap closing. Because as a result of that, we could stay open in the winter months, and we also have a pledge for January, and we have a pledge for February, I believe. But we need those $8,000 gifts for March and April because that's the end of our heating season, and that greatly helps us out with our utility costs. But as I was looking at the calendar, our event calendar, I was calculating how many events we had on average, how many did we have in January at the end of the year, and what was God doing in the KMK this year. And I found it that at the beginning of this year, we had about 66 programs per month in the KMK. Now that's without the cafe. I will mention the cafe numbers separately. And by the end of this year, we had on average about 85 events taking place in the upper part of the KMK. So that is definitely an increase. And as far as the cafe goes, we had altogether 520 programs in the cafe, and in the KMK we had 843 programs altogether. And that's, if you recall, it's a staff of 17 to 20 people that's manning all of these events and keeping this place up and running. So everybody was working hard to produce these numbers, actually. And so that means that this year we had about 120,000 guests come through the doors of our building, which was just so encouraging for me. And the cafe staff actually served about 23,000 coffees this year, and they had about 25,000 guests altogether. So this is a small but mighty team, and God was able to do great things through us, and I found all of these numbers really encouraging. Now, last year we were focusing on the cafe and the cafe staff and all the things that we needed to improve there. This year it was absolutely necessary to focus on the back office team, and so a lot of really boring but otherwise very important things were taking place, such as switching our entire system over to Asana and hiring more people to help us with the tremendous workload that the three of us at the beginning of the year were shouldering. So by the end of the year, I think we all get the hang of this new system that we're using, and we see the benefits of it, even those of us who are slower to learn new operating systems like I am. we divided the responsibilities of Bence to make a leadership team. He used to be I don't know if you know this, but he used to be the president of the Montes Foundation and also the CEO of Bátorítás nonprofit. So he was able to give some of his areas of responsibility to Kövesdi Márk, who is now the assistant director of the Limited itself, the Bátorítás nonprofit. And I serve with Bence on the foundation. I serve as the vice president of Montes Foundation. So that means that everybody has manageable amount of responsibilities now. And then, of course, Tomi was able to take one of the areas that he was working on and hand it over to somebody else. So that means that now he's only responsible for the building and managing and operating the building. When you have a really old building like we do, that demands a lot of creativity, which we're lucky that he has all that creativity. So we have one new person in the upper office handling the billing and the finances, and then another person who's an assistant to Bence and I. And so that means that I don't know when was the last time, actually, honestly, when I walked into the office with a smile on my face and being really, really excited about my day's work, because first time in a long time, I felt that everybody is able to do what they're really gifted in, and the amount of workload you have is not crushing you. So I'm super excited about this new setup. I really love everybody on this team, and I can't wait what 2025 will hold for us. As I was thinking through the year 2024 for our family, I was thinking about my boys and all the ways that they grew this year, and I am amazed by them, actually, because Noel has been taking piano lessons for a year and a half, and I think he's doing great. He has played Silent Night for his recital this year, and the fact that he played at the recital, you guys. Last year he was so shy that when he had to recite a poem, he couldn't recite it in class, but he had to wait until recess time, and he was whispering it to the teacher. And he was so annoyed by being so shy that he wanted to work on this. And he really put himself out there and put himself in situations where he has to perform something in front of people. So he pushed and pushed himself, where he was able to play this song in front of a lot of people. And also his class is doing the nativity play for the school, and he decided to take a role of the storyteller. So he has a lot of words to say, and he has to really project his voice. So I'm so proud of him. He's working on his skills. And then Olivér, I was thinking, maybe I should push him to push himself a little more. But then I realized that that guy is also speaking in English. And last year, when I tried to teach him, a lot of the times he would tell me, "Mom, stop talking to me in English. I don't want to hear it." And then this morning when I was preparing breakfast, and a lot of the mornings actually, I listen to my boys have a morning conversation, and you guys, it's in English. They enjoy speaking in English so much that oftentimes it's their go-to language when they're playing together. That's their default language that they converse in. So it's just so funny to see. But nonetheless, I would like to find something for Olivér, a skill or something for next year to work on that too. So we're looking for we have options. We're looking for areas where he could really just work on his talents. Tomi and I are tired because, well, 6 years ago we bought a fixer-upper. And if you're an interior designer and if you're a really creative handyman, then you really have to watch yourself and watch how many hours you kill into the upgrading of your home. But I think we now are at the point where we're pretty much finished most everything. We finished the addition part of the house that we were working on 2 years, but we had a little section for the terrace as you walk into the house that was unfinished. So we were able to finish that. And we were able to insulate the house and put insulation on the attic. So I think for next year, I would just like to go on vacation and not spend my vacation time on working on projects around the house. We'll see if we can do that, because we get antsy by March. So we'll see what happens with that. But on a different note, many of you know that I also work as an interior designer, and I don't take on a lot of projects because I don't have time next to all the other responsibilities that I have. But I was honored to help a small Baptist church this year, and they were just operating out of a container, which actually turned off many people who would go to their church because it looked ugly. So they were able to buy a beautiful building in the center of town, and this year we were working together on transforming it into their church house. And I was able to finish that project actually only last week, and maybe lobby some money for them so that they could finish all the renovations. Hopefully they can finish it, because it's such a darling group of people, and I was honored to be able to help them. So that was something that kept me busy on the side as well. And then I also teach English. I don't do a lot of that either, but mainly I do it because I want to have a way to regularly meet people and be able to have a conversation with them and help them in a practical way, but get to know them in the same time. So this year I was only teaching my neighbor, and yeah, I pray that all those conversations that we were having on how to use our money wisely and biblical principles, even on using the money, and just a lot of different topics that we get to cover in our practice times. I just pray that this would all lead to a deeper friendship with them, because they're fantastic young people, but also maybe the seeds of a new house group or just a deeper relationship with Christ would be sown by these conversations. So if you think of us, then pray for all of these endeavors, and pray for my family, please. And I want to say a special thank you to everybody, to all of you who have donated or prayed for us as our family and as the KMK in general, because we could not be here without you, and we're greatly thankful for your sacrifice. God bless you guys, and have a very blessed Christmas. Bye-bye.